Have you ever met someone new and suddenly forgotten every English sentence you learned?
Oh, yes. Especially when someone smiles and says, "Tell me about yourself." My brain completely stops working.
Exactly. You know your name, your hobbies, your favorite food, but in that moment, everything disappears.
It feels like your English runs away and hides somewhere.
That is so true. And then after the conversation ends, suddenly all the perfect sentences come back.
You start talking to yourself later, like, "Oh no, I should have said that."
Well, if that has ever happened to you, today's episode is going to help you a lot.
Because today, we are talking about one of the most important and most common English questions in the world. Tell me about yourself.
This question sounds simple, but for many English learners, it feels scary.
Especially when you meet new classmates, new coworkers, or someone you really want to impress.
Your heart beats fast, your hands feel nervous, and suddenly, even basic English feels difficult.
But don't worry. Today, we are going to make this easy, natural, and even fun.
And by the end of this conversation, you'll know exactly how to introduce yourself with confidence.
No more panic. No more awkward silence. No more staring at the ceiling, searching for vocabulary.
Yes, today we are saving everyone from English buffering mode.
Loading, loading. My name is...
And then 10 seconds later, I like pizza.
Honestly, that already sounds like a good introduction to me.
Pizza can start many friendships.
Very true. But before we begin, welcome back to Speak Like Leader, the place where learning English feels like talking with friends.
Here, we don't want perfect English. We want real English, natural English, confident English.
So relax, grab your coffee, your tea, or maybe your favorite snack, and enjoy this conversation with us.
Zoe, can I ask you something honestly?
That sounds dangerous already. Go ahead.
When someone asks you, tell me about yourself, what is the first thing you think?
Honestly, I think, please don't make this awkward.
That is the most real answer ever.
But today, we're going to help everyone feel calm, confident, and comfortable while speaking English.
Because introducing yourself is not a test. It's the beginning of a connection.
And sometimes, one simple conversation can change your confidence completely.
All right, Zoe, let's imagine we are meeting for the very first time at a small coffee shop, and I ask you the famous question, tell me about yourself. What would you say?
Okay, let me try naturally this time. Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm 25 years old, I'm an art student, and I live in a busy city that is always full of noise, lights, traffic, and interesting people.
Wow, that already sounds smooth and confident. And the best part is that it doesn't sound memorized like a textbook introduction.
Exactly, because people connect more with real emotions and small personal details than with robotic answers.
That is such an important point, because many English learners think they need difficult vocabulary to sound smart, but actually, simple and natural English sounds much more powerful.
Yes, and when you speak naturally, people feel comfortable talking to you, and the conversation becomes warm instead of stressful.
So, if I continue the conversation and ask where you are from, what would you say next?
I'd say, "I'm from Canada, but now I live in a big city because of my studies. And honestly, even though the city is noisy and crowded, I love the energy and excitement here."
See, that sounds alive. I can actually imagine the city while you're talking.
That's because details make conversations interesting, and they also help people continue talking with you more easily.
Exactly. If you only say, I'm from Canada, the conversation may stop quickly, but when you add feelings and experiences, people naturally become curious.
They might ask, "Oh, really? What do you like about city life?" And boom, now the conversation keeps flowing naturally.
Boom. English conversation unlocked.
Achievement completed.
Okay then, my turn. Hello, Zoe. My name is James. I'm 28 years old, and I work as an English teacher on Speak Like Leader.
See? Right away, people already know something interesting about you because teaching English says a lot about your personality.
True, and honestly, I really love my job because every day I meet students from different countries, different cultures, and different life stories.
That must be such an amazing feeling because you're not only teaching grammar, you're also helping people become more confident in life.
Yes, and some students are very shy at first, but later they start speaking confidently, smiling more, and believing in themselves, and that feeling is unforgettable.
That's actually beautiful because language can truly change someone's world little by little.
It really can. Sometimes one simple sentence can create a friendship, a new opportunity, or even change someone's future completely.
And that's why learning how to introduce yourself is more important than people think.
Absolutely. Your introduction is like opening the first page of your story.
I really like that sentence. It sounds meaningful.
Because it's true. People don't need a perfect speech from you. They just want to know who you are.
Your hobbies, your dreams, your personality, the little things that make you different from everyone else.
For example, if someone tells me they love pizza, dogs, and sleeping on rainy days, I already trust them a little.
That is the funniest and most accurate thing I've heard today.
Thank you. Years of professional research.
Yes, Professor James, expert in pizza psychology and emotional support dogs.
All right, Professor Zoe, let me ask you another important question that people hear all the time during conversations. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in a small apartment in the middle of the city, and even though it isn't very big, it feels warm, peaceful, and comfortable to me because I decorated it with paintings, books, plants, and soft lights.
That sounds incredibly cozy, like the kind of place where people drink coffee near the window while listening to relaxing music during rainy weather.
That is literally my weekend routine, and honestly, those quiet little moments make me very happy after long and stressful days at university.
I understand that completely because sometimes happiness is not about expensive things, but about feeling calm and comfortable in your own space.
Exactly. And I think your home says a lot about your personality too, even if it's small or simple.
That's very true. As for me, I live in a small house outside the city, and my favorite part of it is the little garden in front, where I spend time reading or drinking tea in the evening.
That sounds so peaceful, especially compared to busy city life with loud traffic and crowded streets everywhere.
It really is peaceful, and after teaching all day, sitting quietly in the garden while listening to birds feels like therapy for my brain.
Honestly, at this point, your life sounds like a movie scene with soft background music and slow camera shots.
Only until my dog starts barking at absolutely nothing for 20 minutes straight.
Ah, yes, and suddenly the peaceful movie becomes an action film.
Exactly. Speaking of dogs, I think pets are one of the best conversation topics because people become instantly more emotional and excited when talking about them.
That is so true, because the moment someone starts talking about their pet, their face changes completely and they suddenly smile more.
So tell me about your cat Luna. I feel like she secretly controls your entire apartment.
She absolutely does. Luna is a black and white cat who spends most of her day sleeping in strange places and silently judging me with her big eyes.
That sounds exactly like every cat in the world. Cats always look like they know something important that humans don't.
Yes, and every morning she wakes me up by sitting directly on my face like a tiny, furry alarm clock with anger issues.
Okay, that is both adorable and terrifying at the same time.
Living with a cat is basically living with a tiny queen who pays no rent but controls everything.
Meanwhile, my dog Max is the complete opposite because he acts like every single day is the happiest day of his life.
Dogs really have such pure and beautiful energy, and honestly, sometimes I think humans could learn happiness from them.
I agree completely because no matter how stressful my day is, Max runs toward me like I'm the most important person in the world, and that feeling instantly makes everything better.
Animals are amazing like that because they make people feel loved without saying a single word.
That's true, and conversations become more meaningful when people share small emotional parts of their life instead of only basic information.
Yes, because saying, I have a dog is simple, but saying, my dog helps me feel better after difficult days creates a real human connection.
And that is exactly what makes introductions memorable, warm, and natural instead of boring or robotic.
I think many English learners are afraid of making grammar mistakes, so they forget to show their real personality while speaking.
That's such an important point because people usually remember your energy, your smile, and your confidence more than your small grammar mistakes.
So maybe the real secret is not speaking perfect English. Maybe the real secret is speaking honestly and comfortably like yourself.
That is honestly one of the best pieces of advice for language learners because confidence and honesty make conversations feel alive, even when your English is still improving little by little.
Exactly. And the funny thing is that when people stop worrying too much about perfection, they actually start speaking more naturally and more fluently without even realizing it.
I remember when I was younger, I used to overthink every sentence before speaking, and by the time I was ready, the conversation had already moved to another topic.
Oh no, that is such a painful feeling when your brain finally creates the perfect answer 5 minutes too late.
And then, later at night, while trying to sleep, suddenly your mind says, "Congratulations, here is the perfect sentence you needed earlier."
Why does the brain always become fluent at the wrong time?
Honestly, our brains love creating problems for entertainment.
Especially during introductions, because people suddenly feel like they are in a job interview instead of a normal conversation.
Yes, but introductions should feel relaxed and friendly because they are simply a chance to share little pieces of your life with another person.
And those little details can make someone feel connected to you very quickly, even if you just met a few minutes ago.
For example, if someone tells you they love painting, traveling, cooking, or listening to old music, suddenly you already have many things to talk about together.
Exactly, because conversations grow from shared interests, shared emotions, and shared experiences, not from perfect grammar rules.
Speaking of interests, let's talk about hobbies because hobbies are one of the easiest and most enjoyable ways to continue a conversation naturally.
I agree, because when people talk about something they genuinely love, their voice changes, their eyes brighten, and their personality becomes more visible.
So tell me honestly, Zoe, when did you first realize that you loved art and painting so much?
Probably when I was a child, because I used to spend hours drawing little imaginary worlds in my notebooks instead of paying attention in class.
Ah, yes, the classic future artist behavior. Teachers explain mathematics while you secretly design fantasy kingdoms in the corner of the page.
Exactly. And honestly, painting became very special to me because it helps me express feelings that are difficult to explain with words sometimes.
That's beautiful because art has a way of speaking directly to emotions without needing long explanations.
Yes, and whenever I feel stressed, confused, or overwhelmed, sitting quietly with paint and music helps my mind slow down and breathe again.
I think everyone needs something like that in life, something peaceful that helps them escape from stress for a little while.
Absolutely. What about you, James? Besides teaching English and secretly studying pizza psychology, what do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Well, I really enjoy listening to old rock music because it gives me energy and reminds me of road trips, late-night conversations, and unforgettable memories with friends.
That sounds so cinematic. Do you have a favorite singer or band?
I actually have many favorites, but I especially love songs that tell stories and make people feel strong emotions while listening.
Music is powerful like that because sometimes one song can suddenly bring back an old memory you completely forgot about.
Yes, sometimes a simple melody can remind you of childhood, family, friendships, or moments that changed your life forever.
And I think those emotional memories are part of what makes every person unique and interesting when introducing themselves.
Exactly. Because behind every simple introduction is an entire life full of stories, dreams, struggles, happy moments, and unforgettable experiences.
which means every person in the world has something meaningful and beautiful to share when they say, "Let me tell you about myself."
And that's exactly why the question, "Tell me about yourself," is not just a formality. It's actually an invitation to understand someone's world a little better.
Yes, and once you see it that way, it doesn't feel scary anymore. It feels like opening a door to a friendly conversation, instead of passing a test.
Because at the end of the day, people don't remember perfect sentences. They remember how you made them feel while talking to you.
And if you speak with honesty, warmth, and a little confidence, even simple English becomes powerful and memorable.
So let's quickly summarize everything we learned today in a natural way, just like we would actually speak in real life.
Yes, like a real introduction that anyone can use without pressure or fear.
For example, you can say, "Hi, my name is James. I am an English teacher. I love teaching. I enjoy music, and I like simple, peaceful moments in life."
And I can say, "Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm an art student. I love painting. I enjoy creative things, and I feel happiest when I'm expressing myself through art."
Simple, natural, and full of personality. No stress, no complicated grammar, just real communication.
And you don't have to say everything at once. You can slowly build the conversation step by step, depending on the situation.
Exactly. In a classroom, you might talk about your studies. At a party, you might talk about hobbies. And in a job interview, you might focus more on skills and goals.
The key is flexibility, not memorizing one perfect speech, but learning how to express yourself in different situations.
And remember, mistakes are not your enemy. They are part of learning and improving your confidence over time.
Every time you speak, even if it's not perfect, you are still improving, still growing, still becoming more confident.
So don't wait for perfect English. Start speaking with the English you already have.
Because confidence doesn't come before speaking, confidence comes because you speak.
And even if your sentences are simple, like, "I like pizza," or "I like dogs," that is still a perfect start.
Honestly, pizza and dogs might be the most powerful combination in human introduction history.
Agreed. That combination has a 100% friendship success rate.
Science should definitely research that.
Before we finish today, we just want to say thank you for staying with us and practicing English with this conversation.
We truly hope you feel more confident now about introducing yourself and speaking in real situations.
And remember, your story doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours.
So, next time someone says, "Tell me about yourself," don't panic. Just smile and speak naturally.
Because that moment could be the beginning of a new friendship, a new opportunity, or a new experience in your life.
And we would love for you to practice right now in the comments section below.
Yes, write a simple introduction about yourself in 1 or 2 lines. Don't overthink it, just try.
My name is, I am from, I like, I don't like. That's all you need to start.
And if you made it this far, you are already improving your English just by listening and practicing with us.
Thank you so much for watching Speak Like Leader. Keep learning, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next conversation. Goodbye for now.